Raditz and Ginyu stare each other down as they instantly launch at each other. As when their fists collide, a sonic boom goes through the square as some buildings around them collapse. As they jump back, Raditz shoots a beam and then shoots some key balls behind Ginyu. As Ginyu catches the first beam, it pushes him back a bit. As then Raditz pushes himself and kicks Ginyu into the key balls. As it explodes and sends Ginyu back at Raditz. As Raditz kicks him down, Ginyu slams into the ground, making some rubble go up. As then Raditz slams his fist into Ginyu's chest. Ginyu grunts, then smiles. As he grabs Raditz's face and slams him next to himself, he gets up and powers up a blast. As then Raditz uses both his legs to kick Ginyu in the stomach, sending Ginyu away. As Raditz smiles and charges at Ginyu, Ginyu stops and goes back at Raditz. As Raditz shoots a beam, but Ginyu shoots his own beam, making Raditz move. Ginyu shoots his own beam, making Raditz move. As Ginyu catches Raditz's arm and snaps it backwards, making Raditz scream in pain, but he just uses it to a disadvantage and snaps it back as he lands in front of Ginyu and shoots a beam point blank at Ginyu's chest, but it just breaks Ginyu's armor and does nothing to Ginyu himself. As Raditz looks a bit worried, but he refuses to give up. As then Ginyu slams a fist into Raditz's gut, making a hole. As he keeps hitting Raditz, leaving more holes. As then he grabs Raditz's leg and slams him into the ground, snapping his leg. As he can barely move, he coughs out blood and shoots a beam into Ginyu's face. As he uses his broken arm to eat the senzu bean from the last part. As his body heals up and fixes his broken bones and closes the holes in his chest. As Raditz stands up with a power level of 140,000. He chooses not to waste time as he slams his fist into Ginyu, but the fight doesn't seem to be one-sided as now Raditz is winning, but barely. As they battle, Yanto shows up, watching the fight, as he had time to think about this all, and wants to help Raditz. So when Ginyu charges the change beam, Yanto makes an attempt to save Raditz, but is hit instead, as he now changes into Ginyu's body, as all three look confused. But Yanto acts knowing he is going to end his old life, but does what he must by punching a hole through his old body as Ginyu's eyes widen, as then Ginyu falls to the ground bleeding out. As Goku comes back with Vegeta and Nappa, as Nappa is fine now, but Vegeta is still missing his arm. It's a stump now. As the five suddenly feel Freeza coming, as they worry. As Goku looks down at his last 5 senzu beans and gives one to everyone since Raditz vouches for Yanto, which Vegeta hates, but Nappa smiles. The 5 get ready as Frieza lands and ask Yanto why he didn't kill the Saiyans, thinking this is Ginyu, which Yanto tries to seize the opportunity to attack Frieza, which Frieza catches the arm and smiles, finding out this isn't Ginyu. But before he can kill Yanto, Raditz and Goku shoot a beam at Frieza. So, we need to go for power levels. Raditz is at 1,400,000. I mean, not 1,400. 140,000. Goku is at 135,000. Nappa is at 120,000. Vegeta is also at 120,000. Yanto is 100,000. He can't use all of Ginyu's power. Now, here's the thing. Yep, Frieza can wipe these guys off his planet, but decides to play with them. The 5 try to gang up, but it's no use. As Frieza decides to make Raditz suffer, thinking this was Raditz's idea. But Goku yells at Frieza to leave his brother alone, as Frieza hears this and smiles. So, Frieza decides to shoot a beam at Raditz, making Raditz fall to the ground. As he tries to get up, he can't, as he is forced to watch as the others fight. As Yanto spots Raditz, and he tries to help the others fight. As Frieza is fighting, starts to get annoyed as he decides to go into his second form, pushing his power over 1 million as he just shoots a beam through Nappa and Goku, then sees Raditz slowly standing and just slams his feet into his back. Raditz screams in pain as he loses feeling in his legs, as then Yanto kicks Freeza in the head, but Freeza doesn't move as he just punches Yanto through some buildings. As Vegeta is pissed and then punches Freeza so hard he breaks his own hand. But it sends Freeza into a building as Vegeta looks down at Raditz, telling him he needs to eat the bean because even though he hates to admit it, he can't kill Frieza alone. So Raditz eats his bean, bringing him to a power level of 1 million. Keep in mind, this is around the time the Namek Saga, and they got massive power buffs. So yes, as Vegeta gets Raditz up, he eats his own bean. He is humiliated, but he eats it, as it fixes Vegeta's arm, powering him up to 1,500,000. I know this seems unfair, but to be fair, Vegeta is missing an arm. Second, his other arm is fully broken. Kind of like Invincible versus Conquest the first time. The two Saiyans quickly go to Frieza as Goku and Nappa slowly stand up, still breathing, as they see Vegeta and Raditz beating Frieza as a team. As Frieza laughs and then starts powering up, as Nappa orders Goku to shoot a hole into him, and then feed him his own bean, as Goku hates the idea, but goes along with it. Nappa then eats his bean after being shot, and his power raises up to 2 million. As when Frieza is done powering up, he is in his third form. As the three Saiyans fight, Goku shoots beams from the side, still holding his bleeding hole. As Frieza spots Goku, he pulls away from the three Saiyans and punches a hole clean through Goku. As Frieza looks at the blood on his hand and just wipes it off on Goku's clothes, and drops him. As Raditz sees this and launches behind Frieza with a look of murder. As he kicks Frieza so hard, Frieza goes flying and spits out a bit of blood, and then gets pissed and tells off Raditz for making him bleed. "You little worm, when I'm done with you, your corpse won't be good enough to be compost." But Raditz ignores Frieza, feeding Goku the last bean Goku has. As now, the Saiyans know they are out of beans, but they need to keep fighting or they will die. But when they look back over at Frieza, he's in his final form, saying how lucky they are to be the first ones to see his final form. Goku stands up with a power level of 3 million. As the four Saiyans attack, hoping they can win as Vegeta kicks Frieza. Nappa uses his mouth beam. Raditz and Goku use a Kamehameha, each on one side of Frieza. Although Frieza elbows Vegeta, then shoots a small beam at Nappa, making the mouth beam explode in his mouth. As Frieza just holds back the two beams from the brothers, he smiles, then appears behind Raditz and kicks him into Goku's beam, as he goes behind Goku and slams him into the ground. But the Saiyans don't stop as they attack. Raditz looking at Vegeta and they nod. Vegeta opens his hand as a moon, I don't remember what the technique is called, but that fake moon goes into the sky. Raditz flies at Frieza and then goes behind Frieza, shocking him, as then Raditz shoots a vacation delete right in Frieza's face, as Goku then gets up and uses a solar flare, as then the moon goes up enough, as then the moon opens, as the three Saiyans go great ape, as Goku moves back, making the Saiyans fight as hard as they can. But Frieza sees this as easy, quickly cutting off Vegeta and Nappa's tail. But Raditz, seeing this, thinks of his soon-to-be kid. He thinks of Bulma, Gohan, Goku, then Bardock, as he shrinks and then looks up with yellow eyes, as he is now using Grade 8 in base form. As his power is 10 million. Frieza, though, finds this pointless, since his power is 60 million. at 50% power, as Raditz then surprises Frieza by tackling him, using his more animalistic attacks, even biting off Frieza's thumb, as Frieza has had enough and punches Raditz's left arm, crushing it, as the bone pops out, but he doesn't stop, as he pops the bone back in, even though his arm is useless right now. But he just starts punching Frieza with his good arm, as he keeps hitting Frieza in the face. Frieza catches it and bends it 180 degrees, as then Raditz kicks Frieza with an upper knee, and then starts kicking Frieza. But Frieza has finally had enough, as then he breaks both of Raditz's legs, and slams Raditz into the ground right after he shoots a death beam into Raditz's chest, and then continues to fire them, making Raditz look like a cheese grater, before Vegeta shoots a Gatling gun at Frieza. Frieza looks at Vegeta slowly, blasting off, since he wants to kill Vegeta. As Raditz is blacking out, he knows he's going to die. They're out of beans. This is it. He failed everyone. Failed Gohan, Bulma, Goku, his future kids, everyone. As he closes his eyes. Frieza, however, is attacking Vegeta, hitting him over and over, as he punched Vegeta in the face, making some teeth and blood fly out. As Goku tries to help, but Frieza just punches him away, and Nappa tries to kick Frieza, but Frieza throws Nappa away. As Raditz is lying there dying, Yonto lands next to Raditz, and instead of letting him die, he feeds Raditz his beam, despite his left arm hanging on by a vein. As Frieza looks over, seeing Yonto feed Raditz, he shoots a beam to finish off Raditz and Yonto. But Raditz opens his eyes and sees Yonto standing over him. Raditz's power rises to 10 million. As the beam hits them, Yonto takes full brunt of the blast, putting his arms out, as Raditz can only watch as Yonto turns to dust, making Raditz go back into the wrathful form, as his eyes turn yellow, as he just watched his first and only friend in the Frieza Force die, as Frieza mocks him, asking if he's gonna cry like a pathetic monkey. Like the pathetic monkey he is. But, in a second, Raditz rips off Frieza's left arm. This makes Frieza scream and back off as he powers to 100%. Frieza thinks his power is 120 million and can stand against Raditz's 100 million. As the other Saiyans watch, they decide not to fight as Raditz is fighting. As he looks at them and yells at them to run. As the Saiyans start to run, Frieza aims his hand at Goku, as then Raditz grabs Frieza's hand and aims it up as the beam goes through a building. As then Raditz punches Frieza in the stomach, throwing him back, as now the two stare at each other. Frieza tries to shoot an I-beam at Nappa, but before it shoots, Raditz kicks Frieza's head to the side, as the three Saiyans get in the ship. Nappa and Vegeta start to get ready to take off, as Goku doesn't want to, but they convince Goku by telling him that Raditz straight up told them to leave. And that's why they're doing it, after all. They can't fight Frieza. So, they start to head to Earth, as it cuts back to Raditz and Frieza, as they see the Saiyans leaving the planet. As then, Raditz wastes no time, as he grabs Frieza by the tail and slams Frieza into the ground, and starts to shoot a Bomber DX, but Frieza kicks Raditz away, as Raditz flies through rubble. He stops midair and flies back at Frieza, as some of the rocks come flying at Frieza with him. It's when his fists connect with Frieza's fist, the ground around them makes a crater, as the two keep fighting, with Raditz shooting a weekend at Frieza. The weekend slams into Frieza, throwing him back through a few destroyed buildings, as Frieza aims a beam at the ground. As Raditz realizes Frieza is going to blow up the planet. So now, it's not just his life, but everyone's life on this planet. So he redoubles his efforts as he shoots a double Sunday as it flies at Frieza. He just flies next to his beam as Frieza turns his head just to be hit into one of the beams, then kicked by Raditz, sending him into the second beam. Frieza looks at Raditz now and shoots a beam into Raditz's left shoulder as he groans in pain, but the two clash, sending a shockwave through the planet. As any remaining standing buildings crumble, making dust fly everywhere, as Frieza grabs Raditz with his tail and slams him into a new area, making Raditz rip through some civilians as Raditz looks at the bodies around them. Then, at the blood on his body from the civilians he just went through. This makes Raditz even more pissed as he launches at Frieza, grabbing Frieza by the throat and slamming him into the ground as he starts punching Frieza over and over. But Frieza smiles and shoots one of his finger beams into Raditz's chest, making Raditz cough up blood. However, this doesn't stop Raditz, as Raditz makes a desperate attempt to win. His powers up a double double weekend. He uses his speed to get back as he shoots a beam at Frieza. The two beams fly at Frieza. One hits the front of Frieza. He holds it back, making a crater grow. As the second comes at his back, Frieza puts up his tail, catching both beams as he looks at Raditz. When the beams fade, Raditz is panting for breath. As then Frieza shows up behind him and punches a hole into Raditz's chest. As Raditz gasps for breath, he falls to his knees. As Frieza laughs and mocks Raditz, as he says Raditz got so strong, but it's still a pathetic Saiyan. As Frieza grabs Raditz and flies to what's left of the planet, as he drops Raditz in the air. He then opens his hand to start charging a beam at Raditz. As Raditz looks around at everyone, running and screaming, and all he can think about is everyone who needs him. He needs to save everyone he loves. He needs to save everyone he loves. He opens his hand and charges his own beam. As Raditz and Frieza fire at the same time. It launches Raditz into the ground. As the two beams push, Raditz decides to put all his energy left, every last thought, every last love he still has, all into this one beam. As it starts to push closer to Frieza, Frieza is panicking and tries to use his stump, but he doesn't have time, as the beam slams into him as he screams, while the beam is slowly turning him into dust. As when the beam dies down, Raditz breathes a few last times. Raditz breathes a few more times before it stops. His body lays there in the streets. As on the ship, Goku grabs his heart, feeling Raditz's power fade fully. As Raditz opens his eyes to see the line leading up to Yama. But this is where we'll end this part. I would like to say sorry you guys for waiting 6 months on this. I did have most of this entire thing written after the fifth part. It's just I haven't really had the motivation with everything going on. And I do want to keep writing and doing this. It's just I've been struggling. So I'll say 5 likes and I'll get the next part out at least by 2 weeks. Yeah, that seems fair. 5 likes and I'll get the next part out in 2 weeks. Thank you all so much who have been patient and are still watching. I hope to see you all next time.